Thank you, and
Okay, and thanks to y'all so much for joining. I know some of you are just getting your coffee cup together right now. We all need it. We're all working through our "Are you on mute?" moments of the day, because that is our lives now, right? So next up, I want to bring to the stage a talk about API and data products, how to impact your business model. So come on up, Bob. Come on. Let's see. Oh,
Hi.
there you are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lovely background. Very green and eco-friendly.
I'm trying. Actually, I'm in our office kitchen because our team is having some super secret meetings in the other room. Otherwise, we are working remotely here in Helsinki, Finland. High from the now only -7 degrees. It used to be -19 yesterday. So.
Oh, well, that's an improvement then, dramatic improvement.
Exactly.
And maybe they're making you a present. That's why they're having a secret meeting without you, and taking advantage of you being on a call. So let's share the screen.
Yeah.
So how is the API industry in Finland? Just briefly,
Well,
what do we need to know about it?
Well, let's say that the API industry in Finland is well, I would say very Central European in a way that there are lots of startups doing a lot of things in the world of APIs, but then there are some legacies that are still doing APIs in an integration mindset. But actually, the funny thing is that now with this COVID and remote work, we've been working more and more in Paris and other places in France and also in US, and we have projects going on in Africa and a lot of other places. So yeah, interesting time.
Okay, yeah, I heard from Mark Boyd, one of the major player in APIs, in the API Days space, a family API Days family member, and he told me yesterday in an interview that I was doing with him that Finland is the only European country that has released its COVID data via API. So I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, the public sector is doing a lot of things in APIs, and there is actually this year there has been a program launched with public sector API kind of governance guidelines, and I have had the pleasure of being like a sports spectator and commentator in some of the events that they've been hosting around it and kind of supporting the effort. So I think that it's one thing that shows that we are in the API world, and also we have API Days Helsinki and North nowadays.
Yes.
So welcome virtually to Helsinki in March.
Coming soon. Yeah, y'all sign up for that. I'll let you take. I'll stop talking and let you go ahead.
Yes.
Thank you about that. Thank you.
Okay, so this was partly the introduction anyway. So I'm the founding member of Osango. So we are doing, as said, all over the place API consulting, and nowadays with the API Collective, where we have also global members of API experts around the world, and organizer of the API Days Helsinki and North, together with a global team. I've been doing this 20 years. Well, I'm still only 25 years old, so don't hold that against me. Anyways, done stuff with a lot of different industries, and please connect with LinkedIn and other social channels. And we have had the pleasure of being in the top 20 API management companies in the world for some years now, considering that Osango was founded slightly under 4 years ago. It's quite interesting development. But we've done a lot of stuff, for example, the API cycles method and other things in the API community. And from the previous talk, there was a lot of talk about ecosystems and creating customer value. And this is kind of one of the things that drives me and drove me to the API product thinking and also data product thinking. Because if you have productized APIs, and I mean productized because sometimes they are real products that you would sell or give to your external users, but sometimes they are just API products that you would use internally. And there's a layer of productization that is needed in terms of being able to really see that, okay, this API is delivering this capability, and together these capabilities can be combined to deliver this whole ecosystem journey across teams, across companies. And you can combine these APIs into different kind of journeys depending on what you need. So for example, those companies that had these capabilities and were kind of buying, building, maybe stealing or borrowing some APIs, they were more adaptable in times of really quick changes like this COVID situation that we are living in. So this is a big thing in resilience and risk management, as well as the whole kind of selling and buying and basically being capable of delivering value from different teams. And I always show this as part of my talks. I'm sorry if you guys have seen this, but this is from a research done a few years back, where we actually borrowed this research in the book API Economy 101 that was written by me and some professors and other people in the API world. And the amazing thing is that why are some areas in the world, some companies, some organizations much more capable of delivering APIs and API products and working in the ecosystems than others? And what they found out was that APIs thrive in cultures where user-centered design is dominant, but it's not enough. We don't all need to grow our inner designers to deal with this, but more or less be able to have developers, like technical people, and marketing or business-oriented, business development-oriented people together to form a culture that thinks from a customer point of view, be it internal or external, and also can coexist, can talk to each other, and develop things together with other companies, other developers, other marketers from other companies together to form this kind of ecosystem. And this is the thing that kind of makes or breaks things, that APIs correlate with the global startup index. So there is a real kind of truth to the power of APIs. Now, when we talk about API products, it's sometimes really confusing because, well, you think about, you know, a bottle of shampoo or tires in your car or something like that as a product. But then when we talk about APIs can actually be in a lot of different positions in your business model. And that's why I like to talk about productizing APIs rather than specifically API products, because it highlights the difference. So your APIs can be a part of your physical, tangible product. They can be part of your service. They can be even a customized service. They can be an interface to your platform resources. They can be part of an integration and a few other things. And as an example, we were just dealing with a big global company that is handling a lot of stuff related to property management and other things. And we were looking at some examples related to that scene. So I collected here a few case examples of hotel related and building management related companies. And here you can see a company that has APIs that are related to the physical property management. They are tied into the features of the physical tangible property, the building. Then you have this platform type of APIs where the APIs connect people and organizations from like various stakeholders that have joint needs, and they help them interact with each other. Then you have a company that offers customized APIs, so like API solutions. These are not necessarily API products that would be used exactly the same by every customer, but they have productized the way of delivering specific API products that can be then used in different contexts by the company. So this is one way of looking at it. And then there's the whole kind of integration mindset where APIs are a means of integrating, let's say, ERP systems to hotel management systems to room keys to a lot of other things. And the more exciting things are like room key systems, where the physical access, the physical keys sometimes even are connected and gathering data and connected to different sensors and different systems. And then there's the whole data value of it that is the real resource behind the API product. And here we go again towards more kind of data-oriented approach, where API is just a way to the data. Now, this is a kind of point to go to the data side of things. So data products are something that we see more and more in our customers, and everywhere there's a need to monetize the data or use the data for business value. And there are some industries which might benefit from a lot of more data being handled. And also this comes down to machine learning, AI, a lot of other things that you can do when you have massive amounts of data, or you need to do because you have such massive amounts of data. And then that goes to the question of, okay, we have APIs, we have data. What is the kind of process? What are the roles? What are the methods to manage those products? Because this is the problem we see in a lot of places, that you have product owners in a Scrum way, in a way, or you have the physical or sometimes even the data product owners, but you don't necessarily have product managers, which is a totally another thing compared to a Scrum product owner. So product management is something that combines the kind of tech, the customer experience, user experience, business together. If we are talking about the mindset of product management in a software development or digital service development context, if we are talking about product management in another industry context, we might be looking at a totally different set of principles and roles and things, for example, in traditional industries. So first we need to establish, what do we mean by product? What do we need by product management? And why would we need a product manager? Because even the digital product managers are more often from the kind of UX design world than other worlds. And in the world of UX design, there is necessarily no understanding or little understanding of APIs and the kind of stuff that could be done automatically behind the scenes without actually doing any kind of user interface, like a user interface in terms of a digital app or something, or a screen in a digital app to handle the whole thing. So there's a lot of learning curves in a lot of companies around this, and a lot of missing roles. And partner management is one thing which is kind of related, but another perspective to this. And the API products are usually shared products to at least some set of stakeholders. So that makes them also a bit different as products as compared to some user interface containing products or physical products. And then there's the whole confusion with data products. So should we even talk about data products? Would data service be better? Well, there's a whole academic discussion around this. But the confusion comes down to, who are we talking with? So are we talking with statistics experts? Are we talking with data scientists? Are we talking with tool vendors? Who are we talking with? Because the whole concept of data product is somewhat different to all of these guys. And most of these guys are not aware that APIs are often a very, very crucial point to the sharing and caring of the data product, and also that the API layer of it, the interface layer of it, needs product management on its own, as well as the data. So obviously we could have weather data in a kind of normal way. You all have mobile phones where you can see the data forecasts, where the data for the forecast is coming from an API. And it's not necessarily very kind of high level of value addition there. It might be just very raw weather data. But then when we talk about real like data services almost, or more advanced data products, we could talk about ice cream weather or some more specific weather forecasts that are related to specific business areas and specific business needs. And this is a very often used kind of customized data product, and therefore also often customized API or a level of customization to the API product that is needed to handle this kind of a data product. So this comes down to data being in different positions in the business model, as we also looked at the APIs being in different positions in the business model. So we always need to think about, okay, is this kind of a productized way of sharing data or APIs, which is then maybe in a slot here in the business model that is more like a channel to the actual value than the product itself? Or is it the actual product that creates the value proposition and is kind of bought and sold? And these are the different aspects to it. And then also the level of kind of the data being processed that is offered via the APIs. So is it just captured data, or is it analyzed, reported, visualized, or what is the whole thing there with the data? And as well as with API ecosystems, with data ecosystems too, to be in a real ecosystem and to being able to use those different APIs, you need same goal and direction. If you want to gather a lot of APIs together and be able to work with those companies and organizations together to attract the same kind of customer segments there. But on the other hand, with API and data products, you can also look at different ecosystems and just say that, okay, this is the capability that we offer, and we see that it's useful for this and this and these types of ecosystems and this and this and these types of goals. So you need to really think about, to go deep into some of your customers' ecosystems to really understand what the value is that they need and what is the product that they need. But also think about if your product could be used by various ecosystems. And this is, again, the same picture that we saw previously, but from a slightly different point of view. So these are all now API-fied API products that are containing some level of analyzed and even machine learning AI capable data products that you could combine into a single journey. And of course, when we are talking about products, we need to talk about pricing models, and that's another thing. So not all monetization is direct pay. So there could be a lot of indirect payment models or even indirect value created, so cost savings and increased customer satisfaction or decrease in the customer churn by offering those APIs. But in data products, there's also a lot of data specific business models and therefore pricing models where you can also think about like the privacy level of it and the analytics level of it, or like analyzed data versus raw data. But a lot of thought needs to be paid when thinking of any kind of personal data being bought or sold or exchanged to something else. So exchanged to like some more kind of better service level or something like that. And when we are talking about product, kind of last thoughts about this, so you need to think about the API or possibly the API/data consumers customer experience. So this is from a B2B journey, but modified by me to kind of think about the developer journey and think about the different touch points in it. We don't have time to go to this deeply today, but this is something that we see a lot as an issue in the organizations, be it internal use, but especially if it's partner or external customer use. for those APIs and also for the data products. And that's why to put all of this together and to help the engineering part of it too, I was developing this with the team at Digia before and Osango since, and with partners. There's a lot of people using and organizations using and adapting this all over the world. API Cycles is Creative Commons licensed model for creating lean and business-oriented APIs, and more often now also data products inside of those APIs. And there's a cycle which covers a lot of the stages and tries to make you think about all these aspects. And there are a lot of templates and a kind of way to handle this so that all of your people in different roles can actually participate and discuss these things in an easy way around these canvases. And if you need any more info, there's English, German, and Chinese, sorry, not French, version of the Introduction to API Economic course with Tampere University in Finland online in Osango Academy. It's free, and you can maybe talk to your university to get some credits out of it. But also there's an Introduction to Data Economy that was done with another Finnish university, Laura, to tackle this data economy problem, and it's also free on the Osango Academy. And more info of the API cycles can be found on the site and also in the ebook that you can download. And we are happy to help you at the APIcollective.com with all the experts in that globally. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have to say it was really informative, and I already added you on LinkedIn about a different conference, the conference that loves canvases and things like that. But my only red flag always is when we're talking about data, privacy, unintended consequences. And when I was interviewing Mark Boyd, like we talked earlier, he was talking about how the API architect has this duty because the API architect allows something to connect or not. So are you seeing a trend that people are talking about the consequences of data sharing in the API community yet?
I'm actually seeing a trend that people are afraid, so afraid about it that they start talking about it and then it blocks the whole development. So I think that you need to know what you're doing, and it is the job of the API/data related architect or consultant or whoever is in that role to talk about and make sure that everybody understands. But on the other hand, when you do it right, you can do a lot of things with the data. You just need to mind the ownership, the storage, the combinations, and a few other things. And of course, if you are in a global scenario, you need to mind a lot of different legal aspects of it. But it is completely doable. But you really need to learn about it to understand what you can and cannot do.
Absolutely. And you always, with everything with tech, you have to ask, what are the unintended consequences? Should we be doing this? Should we be connecting that data together? So thank you.
And I encourage you, everybody, to take a look at, for example, that Introduction to Data Economy course, because we have in those course materials, we have a lot of easily digestible scientific articles also that highlight what can and cannot do, and also some practical examples of things that are kind of iffy and things that are kind of okay.
Ethical. Yeah. There needs to be data ethics with every introduction course. And if you can please share in the chat of the event the links to the courses, that would be great.
I will.
The other resources you mentioned. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Audience, we need to have a talk.